Hi my dear students, Assalamu alaikum to all. All of you welcome today's class. Okay. Now we are going to study about circular motion. Yes. In the last class we learned about rectilinear motion. All motion are rectilinear motion? Is it all motions are rectilinear motions? No. Like that, you know? Yes. There are some type of motions here. Which type of motion is this? Which type of motion is this? Yes, this is circular motion. This is circular motion. Circular motion. What is circular motion? The movement of object along through circle. The movement of object through a circular path. It's known as circular motion. The movement of object along through a circular path is known as circular motion. Yes. Does the velocity of this object is changed in circular motion? Is it? Yes, the velocity changes. Why? Because the direction changes. In circular motion, the direction changes. Is it? So, yes. Next, yes. Next, I show that what is this? This is a whirling a stone. Yes. For moving this stone, where this stone get force? Yes, from my hand. That is from the center. From the center, the stone get force to move. Is it? Yes. Next, we are going to learn about what? Yes. Centripetal acceleration. What is centripetal acceleration? What is centripetal acceleration? The acceleration experienced by an object in circular motion along the radius towards the center of the circle. Towards the center of the circle is known as centripetal acceleration. The force that creates a centripetal acceleration is called the centripetal force. The force that creates centripetal acceleration is called centripetal force. Okay, centripetal acceleration and centripetal forces direct towards the center. Centripetal acceleration and centripetal force direct towards the center. Okay. Yes, what is the equation to find of centripetal force? Fc is equal to centripetal force Fc is equal to mv square divided by r. mv square divided by r. What is m? M is the mass of the object, v velocity, r is the radius. Is it? M mass, v velocity, r is the radius. So, centripetal force is equal, Fc is equal to mv square divided by r. Yes. When this stone, that time when I release the string, what happened? Where it move that stone? Yes, stone move like that in a circular path. When it release from here, it moves like that. It moves tangential. It moves thrown off along the tangent at that point. So that to move along the tangent at that point. Is it? Yes. Yes. Then what is uniform circular motion? Uniform circular motion. If an object moving along through a circular path is circular motion. Uniform circular motion, circular path covers equal distance in equal interval of time is known as uniform circular motion. If an object moving along in equal intervals of time in equal distance, it is known as uniform circular motion. Is it? What is the example for uniform circular motion? Yes, the movement of needle of the clock, tip of the needle of the clock, like that, earth moving around the sun. There are the examples for uniform circular motion. Is it? Okay. Now, we finished our chapter. Yes, all of you do the let us assess work also. Okay. Next, we are going to study about our fourth chapter, that is gravitation. What is the fourth chapter name? Gravitation. Fourth chapter name is gravitation. Yes. Okay. Yes. What is this? This is a stone. I put this stone. Yes. What happened? It falls down. It falls down. Why? Why? Because earth attract. Earth attract. So it falls down. Understand? Yes. Next, let's now throw the stone upward. If we throw stone upward, what will be the speed of the thrown? It go upward. Speed decreases. Speed decreases. What about its speed when it falls down? What about its speed when it falls down? Speed increases. When it go upward, the stone upward, speed decreases. And that time, when it falls down, what happens? Its speed increases. Is it? Yes. Next, from this, where does the stone get the force to come to the ground? Yes, gravitational force. We learned that due to the gravitational force, it falls down. Okay. Next, tie a stone to a thread. Next, all of you take page 64. You can see a question. Tie a stone to a thread and suspend it from a spring balance. What do you observe? What do you observe? Yes, it stretches downwards. Stretches downwards. The spring is stretched down when the stone was suspended from it. Why? Yes, same reason, due to the force of gravity. Due to the force of gravity. So, what is force of gravity? Earth attracts every object to its center. Earth attracts every object to its center. This force of attraction is known as force of gravity. This force of attraction is known as force of gravity. Okay. What are the examples? There are so many examples for force of gravity. Here said that a mango falling from mango tree, like that. Artificial satellite revolve around the earth, like that. Yes. When the time rainwater falls down. These are the examples for this. Okay. Next, take a stone of low mass and another stone of higher mass. Suspend them one by one from a spring balance. Suspend, take a stone of small mass and high mass, suspend in spring balance. Yes. What happened? So, before that, what is mass? We learned in the 8th standard. What is mass? Mass of a substance is the amount of matter contained in it. Mass is the amount of matter contained in it. Okay. Yeah, in which the case reading higher? In which the case reading higher? Of higher mass or lower mass substance? Yes, we already know higher mass have reading higher. Which of the stone experience greater force of attraction of the earth? Yes, of course, higher mass. On the basis of these observations, find out the factor. Influence, force of mutual attraction between earth, yes, earth and the body. Which is the factor? Yes, here we said that if we take a lower mass object and a higher mass object, which one have more reading, which one have more reading? Yes, higher mass. So, one factor is mass. One factor is mass. What is another factor? Yes, distance between the object is the another factor. Distance between the object of the another factor. It was Sir Isaac Newton. You know Sir Isaac Newton? Yes. Sir Isaac Newton formulated a law by connecting these factors. This law is known as universal law of gravitation. Universal law of gravitation. What is the universal law of gravitation? Yes, all bodies in the universe attract each other. all bodies in the universe attract each other. The force of mutual attraction between two bodies is directly proportional to product of mass. The force of attraction between two bodies is directly proportional to product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. So, what is the universal law of gravitation? Yes, all bodies in the universe attract each other. The force of mutual attraction is directly proportional to product of mass and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. So, how can we write that? Yes, if this is the m1 of mass of object, first object, this is the mass of second object, distance between d. So, here we said that force is directly proportional to product of masses. Product of mass means m1 into m2. Then it is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. How can we write that? Yes, F is inversely proportional to square of distance between them means F directly proportional to 1 by d square. That means F is inversely proportional to square of distance between them. Is it? Yes. Combining these two, how can we write? F proportional, F is directly proportional to m1 m2 divided by d square. F is directly proportional to m1 m2 divided by d square. Yes. So, we can write F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by d square. F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by d square. What is the value of G? The value of G is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square per kilogram square. Okay. Have in your textbook, all of you look that. What is the value of G? 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square divided by kilogram square is the value of G. So, how we will get the force is this? Yes, we know that. What is universal law of gravitation? Yes, force is directly proportional to product of mass and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. So, we can write F proportional m1 m2 divided by d square, that is F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by d square. The value of G is equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square divided by kilogram square. Is it? Okay. Yes. Based on Newton's second law of motion, you complete the table. Which table? In table 4.1. Yes. First one done here. What is m1? m1 5, m2 10. m1 5, m2 10, distance 2. Then the write G into, we apply the value in that equation. What is the equation? G m1 m2 divided by d square. So, G into 5 into 10 divided by 2 square get G into 12.5. Okay. What is second? Second, m1 given 10, m2 10, d 2. m1 10, m2 10, d 2. Then what is the force there? Yes, we know that force is equal to G into m1 m2, that is 10 into 10 divided by 2 square. That is, yes, G into 25. G into 25. We got G into 25. One more. 10, 22. If m1 10, m2 20, d 2, then what is F? G into 10 into 20 divided by 2 square. That 50 into G. Yes, like that. All of you complete that table. All of you complete the table. Okay. Next, if two bodies are the specific distance, so if one body mass doubled, what will be the force? If one body of mass doubled, what will be the force? Yes, what will be the force? We know that force is equal to Gm1 m2 divided by d square. If m1 doubled, what will be the force? If m1 doubled, we can write G into 2m1 m2 divided by d square. So that is 2 into F. Is it here 2 into F? We can write 2 into F. So what happens? The force also doubled. First question answer, force also doubled. What is second question? What if the mass of both bodies are same? If mass of both bodies are doubled, what will be the force? Yes, so we can write what? Yes, 2m1 into 2m2. If both bodies have mass doubled, what will be the force? Yes, force is 4 into F. Force will be 4 times increasing. Force will be 4 times increasing if two body of mass doubled. Yes, then third question. What is the distance between the bodies is doubled? If the distance mass same, distance doubled. If the mass same, distance doubled. That means 2d. Here remember that 2d all square. You write 2d all square because d square. If d doubled, you write 2d all square. So 2d all square. That means what? 2 square means 4. So 1 by 4 F. We get 1 by 4 F. Is it like that? What happens when the distance between the bodies halved? If the distance body half, what happens? Yes, 4 times doubled. Force 4 times doubled. Like that, all of you find out all answer and write this in your notebook. Okay. Next, based on this, there is a problem. What is the question? A child of mass 40 kg is sitting at a distance of 1 meter from another child of mass 50 kg. Calculate the gravitational force of attraction between them. Yes, how to find out? We apply the values in this equation. What are the values we get? Yes, m1. What is the m1 in this question? m1 40 kg. Then m2 50 kg. Then what is distance here? This question distance, yes, 1 meter. So what is the answer? Yes, G. What is the value of G? 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 into m1 40, m2 50, 1 square. What will be the answer? Yes, the answer is 1.33 into 10 raised to minus 7. That is very small. Yes, we can see that the force of attraction between the object is very small, very small, because 1.33 into 10 raised to minus 7 Newton. That's why if we sit together with our friends, we don't attract, because what? The force of attraction between us is very small. Is it? Okay. Like that, there is another problem. A body of mass 50 kg and another body of 60 are separated by distance 2 meter. Yes, what will be the answer? What will be the answer? Here, the value is changed. The value is changed. M1 60. Sorry, m1 50, m2 60. This 2 square. All of you find out the answer. All of you find out the answer. If we apply these values in this equation and multiply and dividing, that time you get the answers. Okay. All of you find out. Yes. From this equation, if we get like problems, you apply the values. That equation you will get the answers. Remember that all of you must write the unit also. Must write the unit also. Okay. Yes. We here said that there is a force of attraction between the objects. Like that. Next, we are going to study about force of gravity. What is force of gravity? Force of gravity. There is a force of attraction between Earth and Sun and Earth and other celestial bodies. So we can say that if the mass of Earth take capital letter M, if the mass of Earth take capital letter M, R is the radius. R is the radius and M is the mass of an object placed on the Earth. What will be the attractive force between them? What will be the attractive force between them? How can we find out? Yes, we know that F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by d square. Here m1 F is equal to G m1 m2 divided by d square. What is m1 here? M1 capital letter M. M1 capital letter, that is the mass of the Earth. Yes, m2 mass of the object, small letter a. D, that is the radius of the Earth. So, what is the force here? G into m divided by r square. That is the force of the force of attraction between a body on Earth's surface and Earth. Force of attraction between the body of Earth's surface and Earth is equal to G m divided by r square. Capital M is the mass of the Earth, small letter m is the mass of object on Earth, r is the radius of the Earth. Is the force of attraction same everywhere in the all side of the Earth? Same? No. Why? Because we know that is the shape of Earth is spherical. If the shape of Earth is spherical, now what is the actual shape of Earth? Shape of Earth is just like that. Is it? Yes. So, yes, here we can see that it is pole, it is equator of Earth. So, radius is more where? Radius is more here or here. In equator, radius is more. Okay. Yes, we can see that in equator, radius is more. Where is radius less? In poles, at poles, radius is less. So, where is the force of attraction more? Where is the force of attraction more? Yes, first radius is small, force of attraction more. When radius is small, force of attraction small. Is it? If a body is continuously raised from Earth, what happens to the force of attraction? Force of attraction decreases. If body raised, what happens? Yes, force of attraction decreases. Next, acceleration due to gravity. Acceleration due to gravity. We know that the force of attraction between Earth and body of surface changes according to mass of the body. Yes, we learn that it changes with the mass of the body. Yes, we know that what is M? Sorry, what is F? F is according to Newton's second law of motion. F is equal to ma. F is equal to ma. So, what is A? A is equal to F by m. A is equal to F by m. Okay. According to Newton's law, F is equal to ma A is equal to F by m. According to Newton's law of gravitation, what is F? F is equal to, here we said that G m1 m2 divided by d square. But in earth case what? Yes, G m divided by r square. Okay. F is equal to ma. Due to earth gravity we can write F is equal to mg. We can write F is equal to mg. So, mg is equal, this F and this force are equal, that time we can write mg is equal to g m divided by r square. This just to understand how to, what is the value of g. Yes, g is equal to this m and this m cancel. So, g is equal to g capital letter m divided by r square. G capital letter m divided by r square. What is the capital letter m? Indicates the mass of the earth, r is the radius. Mass of the earth and r is the radius. Acceleration on earth what? F divided by m. F divided by capital letter m. Capital letter m. F divided by capital letter m. Sorry. From this, one thing, g is equal to gm divided by r square. G is equal to gm divided by r square. From this, what are the factors that influence the value of g? What are the factors? Yes, mass of the earth and radius of the earth. Yes, what are the factors influencing this g? Mass of the earth and radius of the earth. So, what is acceleration due to gravity? Acceleration due to gravity does not depend on the mass of the body. Acceleration due to gravity does not depend on the mass of the body, but it depends on the mass of the earth and radius of the earth. Is it? Yes. So, by doing this values, if g is equal to, we know that g is equal to 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11. The mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24. By applying these values, we get the answer g is equal to 9.8. G is equal to 9.8 meter per second. G is equal to 9.8 meter per second. If the value of G is same at everywhere on the earth, at pole and equator, no, because at pole and equator the radius are different, so that the value of G also different. So, what is the value of G on polar region? G polar region 9.83 meter per second square. In polar region, value of G is equal to 9.83 meter per second square. At equator, G is equal to 9.78 meter per second square. Okay. Understand? Yes. Next, there is a question, a stone dropped. From that question, you get what is the value of G? G get 9.83. The value of G is equal to 9.83. So, we can say that it have at polar region. It have at polar region. Yes. The value of G at polar region and at equator different. But we take a value. What is that? We take a value that is G is equal to 9.8 as a common. Okay, V is equal to 9.8 as a common. Next, there is a question. If a stone of mass 50 kilogram and 5 kilogram mass stone falls down, what happens? If a stone of 50 kilogram stone and 5 kilogram stone falls down, what happens? Yes, which one will reach the ground first? Which one will reach the ground first? Same, both of them reach same at the ground. Is it? Okay. But a stone and a piece of paper falls down. And but when a small and a piece of paper falls down, which one will come to first to the ground? Which one? Yes, stone, of course. Stone comes to first to the ground. Is it? What is the reason of that? Due to the air resistance. Due to the air resistance. Got it? Yes. This first Galileo was first person agree that this is due to air resistance. But in that time there is no facility to make a vacuum. Is it? So after that is Isaac Newton proved that. How he proved that? Because he do feather coin experiment. He do feather coin experiment. First he take a tube filled with air. He take a tube filled with air and put a feather and a coin simultaneously at equal time. Then what happens? Yes, this stone reach, feather and coin. This coin reach first at the ground. Then after he vacuated that tube, that means remove that air and put this coin and feather simultaneously at equal time. What happened? This both object like a feather and feather and coin reaches the ground same time. So he can understand in first situation this feather came last. What is the reason? Due to air resistance. He proved that. Okay, this is the feather coin experiment. Okay, next we said that earth attracts stone, then why don't stone attract earth? What is the reason of that? Yes, let's see what is the reason of that. We know that earth acceleration of earth is equal to acceleration of earth is equal to F by m. Acceleration of earth is equal to F by m. Acceleration of stone, what? Acceleration of stone, same F, mass of object. Here mass of earth, here mass of object. Yes, by comparing this mass, earth mass is very high, earth mass is very large. So acceleration of earth is very small. Is it? Acceleration of stone very large, because according to by relating this mass is very small. Okay. Yes, so that we can understand that the acceleration experienced by the earth will be negligible and small, that by stone will be much greater. Okay. Yes. Next, what are the equations of motions? What are the equations of motion? We learned that. What are the three equations of motion? Yes, what are they? V is equal to U plus AT. V is equal to U plus AT. Then second, yes, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Then third, V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. These are the equations of motion. These are the equations of motion. Okay. Yes, from this equations you find out the answers of these questions. First question. First we know that a stone falls from the top of a wall 1 second to the ground. We know what is the value of G. G 9.8. You can take 9.8 as 10. For doing easily, we can take G as 10 meter per second square. So what is the first equation? First question. What is the speed of the stone just before it touches the ground? What is the speed of the stone just before it touches the ground? Yes, what is the speed? First question, sir. We find out through this equation. V is equal to U plus AT. Yes, here U is equal to what? 0. U is equal to 0. Then A, we take 10 and T At 1 second, so time is equal to 1. Then v is equal to 10 meter per second. 10 meter per second. V is equal to 10 meter per second. Then what is second question? What is second question? Calculate the average speed when the stone is falling down. Calculate the average speed when the stone is falling down. Calculate the average speed. Average speed, here u is equal to 0, v is equal to 10. Then its average speed means, yes, you want to find out 0 plus 10 divided by 2. Average speed, zero plus 10 divided by 2. What is that? Yes, 5. 5 meter per second. 5 meter per second. That is the average speed. Then what is third question? How much is the height of the wall? Yes, what is the height? How can we find out height? Yes, that is, we use this equation here. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Ut plus half at square. That is 0 plus, what is the u here? 0 plus half into 10 into 1 square. We get half into 10, that means 10 by 2, 5. 5 meter. We get 5 meter. Is it? Yes. Next, there are two problems also. What was the velocity of the stone at instant throwing up? All of you do that in your home. Okay. Next, let's wind up today's class. Thank you.